Hi everyone, I welcome you all to my YouTube channel. And today we are going to discuss factory design pattern. So let's start with our session today. And before we go ahead and start discussing about factory design pattern. Uh, let's start with an implementation where we are not. I'm going to implement a factory design pattern, and then see why exactly we need to implement factory design pattern. So basically, we wanted to understand the use case or the problem statement. What is that brings us to make what is that makes us to implement the factory design pattern? Okay, so let's start with our session. So if we don't implement factory design pattern, what is going to happen is it says that it will create a kind of tight coupling between my client code and my concrete classes. We'll just see how it actually, what exactly this lines means, this sentence means in our implementation section. Okay. So, and before we go to the implementation section, just look at this diagram first. So in this diagram, if you see, what we are going to do is, I'm having one interface, and the name of this interface is iCar. And this iCar has three concrete classes: Maruti, Tata, and Honda. Okay. And what we wanted to do is we wanted to create an object of Maruti, Tata, and Honda. That is all that we wanted to talk about, because factory design pattern basically talks about creation of the object. So how we can create the objects, right? So now let's talk about our client code. So let's say as I have this interface, right? And I have these three concrete classes. And if I have to instantiate Maruti or Tata or Honda, any one of them, any one of these three classes, what we can do is I can write iCar car equal to new Maruti, or I can write iCar car equal to new Tata, or I can write iCar car equal to new Honda, right? This is how we can create an object, and it will work for us. So let's try to implement this in our code and then see what exactly it means when I say that there is a tight coupling between the client code and the concrete classes. Okay. So let's start Visual Studio. So this is our icon. Okay. This is our icon. Okay. And what we are trying to do here is I have an interface, and I have just two members here. One is my property and one is my method. Okay. So my property is model name, and my method is print model name. It's just to print the model name. Okay. That's all. So now I wanted to implement this iCar into three, whatever we have discussed here, right? I wanted to have three complete classes: Maruti, Tata, and Honda. That is our thing, right? That is what we wanted to do. Okay. So now go to our Visual Studio. So what we are going to do here is, this is my class Honda, and I'm implementing iCar. This is private member, and this is my property model name, and I'm using get and set. And then this is my method, print model name, which is going to print the model name, whatever I have in this private member, or whatever I have this property. And this is my constructor, where I am setting the model name as city. This is my Honda class, and for my Honda, I have put the model as city, Honda city, right? So that's just a simple implementation, nothing much, just a constructor to give, and it will set a value. That's it, nothing else. Now go and check my other class as well. So if I go to Maruti class, It's the same kind of, because Maruti is also, I'm implementing iCar in Maruti car. It's also, again, the same kind of thing. There is no change. I have one private member, one property, one method, which is printing model name. And then this is my constructor. And here I am setting the value as Ciaz for my Maruti. Okay. So that's all about my Maruti class. Now let's go to Tata. This is also being implemented from iCar. I have a private member. This is my method, sorry, member, and this is my method, right, which is printing model name. And this is my constructor where I have set the value as model name as Indica. That's all, right? So this is the implementation of my concrete classes. Now, let's say if I wanted to use this class, right? Or if I wanted to use this in my client code, how we can do that, okay? So let's move to our program. Let me put it here so that if I want, I can see it. So what I'm doing is in my main classes, I have set iCard as null. This is my iCard. I have this interface. And I've started a while loop. This is just logic that I have kept here so that I can keep moving inside this loop unless I type stop. So my first message that it says is console write line, and please enter car type Maruti, Tata, or Honda, and type stop to exit. And I'm storing that value in car type variable. Now, here I say if car type equal to Maruti, give me a Maruti. And the same thing, if car type is Honda, give me a Honda. Means I wanted to create an object of Honda. And if the car type is Tata, I wanted to create an object of Tata. Okay. So now what is happening here is, if you see, my client code is directly using the concrete class Maruti. And this is where we are creating a type coupling. So by using this factory design pattern, what we wanted to do is, or what we can do is, we would be able to remove this tight coupling, and there we will have a loose coupling. Okay. So in our next session, we will see the implementation of factory design pattern, and we will see how we can implement our all these classes, iCar and Honda and Maruti and Tata classes, how we can implement that so that, right, I can remove this tight coupling between my clients and my concrete classes. That is all that we are going to achieve by using the factory design pattern. That is the main target. Okay. So hope you have understood the business case or the problem statement. And in our next session, we'll see how to implement this. Thanks a lot for watching this video. And if you think that you are able to understand the concepts, the things that we are talking here, and if it is helping you out, and if you think that it can help to your friends or colleagues or batchmates or classmates, please do share this video with all of them so that they can also get benefit out of it. Also, if you wanted to get an automatic update or alert as and when I upload a new video, then please subscribe my channel so that you can get an automated video as well. Sorry, automated alert as well. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and we'll again meet in my next session. Thank you.